Well, first of all, I want to thank you for braving the Arctic to talk about this movie with us. And what are your reactions like towards the character wearing a black suit all the time, and the other people's reactions toward him wearing the black suit? You know, like when he's in certain areas, of course. Like, what are your reactions towards that?
That's part of what he does. That's just what he is. I mean, when the kid says to him, "You born in that suit?"
Yeah.
But I mean, that's it. What does he do? He travels light. He travels the same way. He'd be in and out. He wouldn't have been noticed. He'd have gone and got on the island. It's just the only thing he's got. I mean, he's not going to come decked out in shorts and whatever. Nobody's going to notice. You know, I mean, too many of these films. You know, I saw The Killer recently. You see that?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
God, was it long? Yeah, God, you could have told it in half the time. He's a gifted filmmaker, but I'm sorry. Again, it was like saying, could I have another shot? I mean, talk about detail, but detail you didn't need to know about a lot of the time. But I mean, I don't know. Or you know, the George Clooney film, The American, which again was beautifully made and well done. Nothing to do with it, but again, it was there was no involvement with anybody else, so you never felt anything. I think you feel something about this.
Well, you know, you
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't want to speak ill of The Killer, but there's lots of voiceover in that, and there's none in this. And I think that in a way, there's a sophistication in the storytelling here, letting the action play out, sometimes quietly, you know, letting the menace build in an organic way.
You know, again, I think it's a deliberate attitude you have. I mean, Fincher, and like Jonathan Glazer, two of the most lauded directors around today. Now, Jonathan went from making our movie, the most commercial thriller like Sexy Beast, to making the film he made, Birth, with Nicole Kidman. He was determined to be taken, I think, more seriously as a critic. And again, I'm going to have a knock at critics. He would suddenly go, oh, he's gone back to making what he did. He's gone back to being the filmmaker he really was, which means you make it in Academy size, and you make boring shots, and you whatever. And you employ Jean-Claude Carrier, and then you get reactions saying, and the film looked washed out, and then Birth, which was nothing, and then what did you do with Scarlet, which is, I admired, but it was like, he was going back to student film. Of course, the only guy that survived was the guy that, you know, the guy that she should have killed in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about, you know, movie making, which, I mean, I love the book, but it's nothing to do with the book. But again, movie making, and I think The Killer, it was a deliberate choice of Fincher. I mean, to say, how much can I fucking drive you crazy with? Because he tends to do that as a filmmaker. You know what I mean? How far can I push the envelope of detail? Jesus, and he is getting. I mean, Seven's a wonderful movie, and I'm not having a go at him, but he's allowed to do what he chooses to do, like a lot of great filmmakers. And there's, you know, there's a difference. I mean, it's what you're allowed to do. God knows what Gonzalo would do if he was given $50 million to make a movie.
Yeah.
But you know, it's